There is always something common between all the people around the world that succeeded. The greatest habit you can ever break is breaking the habit of being yourself, because nothing changes if nothing changes. We always say that we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to become better, we want to develop good habits, but we always don't continue. We start maybe for a week or two, and then we fall back to the old habits. Why do we do that? Because we didn't break the old circuitry in our brains. Because what sinks in the brain links in the brain. You always have to create new things. You always have to become that man or that woman that you want to be internally, to rewire your brain, to lose your old self, and to create a new self. Because as I told you, nothing changes if nothing changes. And believe me, every video that you watch, you are running in a loop. You are just repeating the cycle. You are in a state of, hey, I want to change. How about just acting and just do what is supposed to be done? And in this video, by the end of it, you will have a complete plan on how to change your whole life, internally and externally. Because when you change internally, as above, so below, then the outer world will change, as within, so without. So the very first thing you need to know is to admit that you always wanted to change, because many people are comfortable in their comfort zone to the point that they just say things because they see it on the internet, like, hey, I want this, I want that. No, you don't. You want to stay where you are and then complain and be the victim. And this is a dangerous place to be in. If you want to change your life, you got to change how you think. You got to stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as somebody who is capable of changing their lives, because you are capable of changing your life. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And the change, the only real change, comes from the inside of you. Because your thoughts will lead to a lot of things. Thoughts and feelings, once merged together, you will wake up every single day under compulsion to do certain things that you wouldn't normally do, that will lead you to have what you imagined, what you saw yourself with. You saw yourself with a Lamborghini, with a beautiful wife, a beautiful family. You can have all that. You can have whatever you want. And I mean it. There is always something common between all the people around the world that succeeded, and that is, what you believe to be true in your mind will become a reality in the outer world. Mike Tyson said it. You have to be a champion before you be a champion. You have to become that internally first. You have to believe that you are a champion. And believe me, it is simple, but it's not easy. Why? Because we've been programmed to think a certain way. So how to break that habit? The very first thing you need to do is to catch yourself. When did I go unconscious today? Catch yourself. When did I do it? How it happened? Someone cut you off when you are driving. Then you lost it. Then the next time someone does that, if someone does that, you catch yourself. Like, hey, maybe he's in a rush. Maybe something else is happening. So you just try to calm down, not to get into the state of being angry. Once you are angry about something, you can observe things, but don't react to it. And I know it sounds simple, but it's not easy. It takes time. You know Roger Federer? Roger Federer, when he started, he was so angry and so moody during his matches. He would just slam the rackets into the ground, do a lot of things that are not now known about him. But he changed that. He tamed the animal. He lost his old self and became his new self. The calm Roger Federer we always see. This is what you are supposed to be doing. The very first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you should ask yourself, who am I going to be today? How am I going to act today? What character am I going to be like? Ask yourself these questions. These questions you should answer with sincerity, and you should answer clearly. Sincerely answer these questions. You should ask yourself these questions every single day. You should know which is that thing that is holding you back. What is that limiting belief that always held you back? Once you know it, game over. You have a target to change. You have this thing that you know that is holding you back. You're not making enemies with it, but you are changing it. Just like when you are uninstalling an application on your phone and you are reinstalling a new one that is serving you. It is as simple as that. Is it easy? I'm not telling you that. Is it worth it? Yes. When you do the hard thing and it takes you so far in your life, it's better than doing nothing and then living a hard life. Think now. Sit with yourself. Tame the animal. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to sit with yourself. Many people are afraid to sit alone with their thoughts. Don't be like that. Sit alone with your thoughts and ask yourself, who am I? Why am I here? What is the best thing that I can do right now to improve myself, to improve the life of the people around me? Ask yourself. Once you do that, catch yourself anytime you find yourself snapping back to the old personality. Maybe you got angry. Maybe you fall out of grace. Maybe you fall out of grace. Face yourself every single day. Like, hey, the day now has ended. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to see, when did I react? When did I react? And why did I react? Ask yourself these questions. Once you do that, you have a goal, a target that you should have right now by knowing your weaknesses. Your weaknesses is maybe getting frustrated after a short period of time. Then you got to know how to be disciplined with your thoughts and feelings, because perseverance is a key. Now you got the very first two steps. The last step and the most important one is what you fall asleep doing, because this is the point where you are carrying all the feelings and thoughts and emotions with you to the subconscious mind. This is why Neville Goddard is telling you that before you go to bed, don't ever feel like you are unsatisfied, feeling like you are a failure, feeling that you are not good enough. Always entertain a good thought. Visualize yourself becoming a man that you want to be, becoming the man that you always dreamt of. Always visualize before you go to bed. Not always visualize, always have the feeling. If visualization helps, then do it. If affirmations help, then do it. But the only thing that matters is going to sleep feeling as if you are the man or the woman that you always wanted to be. This is the key. This is the most important point that you should focus on, because in his latest years, Neville Goddard said something really important, that it doesn't matter what you do throughout the day, but when you go to bed, always feel as if you are the man or the woman that you want to be. And from personal experience and from many clients' personal experiences, they told me that when they imagine themselves as if they are sleeping in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, internally fulfilled, they wake up every single day under compulsion to do certain tasks, to go to certain places that they wouldn't normally go to. And this always leads them to become or to be the person that they always wanted to be. So I want you right now to tell me down below, what is your goal? What is the habit that is always keeping you back? What is the habit that is tying you to the old personality of yours? Because you must change who you are. You gotta change, because nothing changes if nothing changes. And you know that. I'm not telling you something that you don't know. Hey guys, you already know all this. You know what you gotta do. I'm just giving you a heads up. And now you know what to do. Nobody's gonna spoon feed you, by the way. So it applies to anything. And I mean anything. So don't ask, does it apply to this or that? Anything. Nobody is gonna spoon feed you. You gotta do it yourself. You gotta do it yourself. You are the only one responsible for that. You and you alone can change your life. And once you realize that, you will become better and better and better. And of course, techniques can help. Any technique can help. Techniques are vehicles that you can take to get to the feeling, to get to the state of being that you always wanted. And once you are in that state, you stay there and persevere in that state. And this is why I made my ebook when you guys were asking me, how about this technique, that technique, how to do this, how to do that. I was in your shoes. I spent a lot of time watching videos, reading books. Most of them were 500 pages plus. One of them is 700 pages. Can you imagine that? I gathered all this info and I've put it in a 26-page ebook that you can check in the link in the description box. But as I told you before, you are the technique. So whatever works for you, you stick with it. So that's it for today's video. I know you found it helpful, and I hope that you start today. Comment down below what do you think and what do you want to see next. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next video, I'll see you soon.